Hello everyone. Today I wanted to talk about a topic that we've kind of touched on in previous videos, and that would be where the ball python market is going in regards to recessives and codominants and dominant genes. The market is definitely leaning towards double recessive, triple recessive, quadruple recessive. What I mean by that is that the layering of recessives in a planned and methodical way is where the ball python market is going in regards to investment ball pythons. I'm not really trying to debate or argue that it should go that way. I'm just saying that facts are facts. They are going that way with regards to investment ball pythons. I plan to lay out the reasons why it is going this way, for better or worse. There are plenty of people who dislike this market change, that it's going towards that, and that's fair. And I don't think anyone is out there saying that dominants and codominants are no longer a thing at all, because that would just be kind of foolish, because they play a pivotal part in regards to how recessives are playing out and working. Again, I'm just trying to show a reason as to why it is going in this direction. The biggest difference between the recessive morphs and the dominant and codominant morphs are that you only need one copy of the codominant and the dominants to have a visual. The biggest difference between codominants and dominants is that a codominant, otherwise known as incomplete dominant, which is really what we should be calling them, if you breed two of the exact same codominants together, you get a super form. The dominants do not have this. If you breed two dominants together, you will always get the same looking snake. Now, if we lump those together, since they will always pass one copy of their gene on. A pastel, 50% of its babies will be pastel. If we take a recessive, say like sunset, and we breed that to a normal, none of the babies will be sunset. They will, however, all be het sunset, which means they won't look like sunsets. They'll look like normals. They'll just be carrying one copy of the gene, which is not visual. When you have a het sunset, for example, and you breed that to a normal, 50% of those babies will be het sunset, but you won't know which ones are het sunset unless they make another genetic test for that soon. So now the big question is why? Why are recessives, specifically multi-recessives, the future of the ball python market, as opposed to layering codominants and dominants on top of each other? And that would be rarity. If I take the stranger gene, which I just go and buy for about $2,000 or so, and I breed that to a normal, 50% of my babies are now the exact same gene as the dad. So theoretically, if I buy a male stranger, I can now sell all those snakes in roughly a year, maybe a year and a half, and I can sell them for what? Another $2,000? Market's probably going to dip before then because of what I'm about to mention. Do you think everybody's not thinking that? Everyone's thinking that. So single gene strangers are going to keep going down in price because 50% of the males, which are easy to breed to anything, are going to start having babies that are strangers. So if you've got one person who buys a male stranger and they breed it to say 6 normals, and those babies, there's about 6 eggs each. Well, say 50% of those eggs, what's 6 times 3? That's how many new strangers exist in the world in about a year's time. That is obviously going to drive the price down, because supply and demand, even though there might be a great demand for this, is going to dictate as such. Now, why would you breed it to a normal, you might say? And that's fair. You can breed it to a bunch of other genes. So let's take that stranger and let's breed it to a yellow belly, pastel, super orange stream. Obviously, everything's going to be orange stream. You're going to get 50% strangers. Let's say we get the best we could possibly get. We get an orange stream, stranger, yellow belly, pastel. So 4 genes right there. Pretty nice animal, I'm certain. But let's take a recessive in instead of the stranger in this example. I'm going to take the same animal, a super orange stream, yellow belly, pastel, and breed it to a sunset again. Now, what I have is a het sunset, orange stream, yellow belly, pastel. So to make that combo with a visual sunset, you're going to need the original male, and you're going to need to get a female out of all that as well. So another 50% layered on top of that. You get all those combos, you get the female het, and then you breed your male back to that female. And you'd have a 50% chance to hit the visual sunset. And then you'd have to hope that you get all of those other genes in there as well. But regardless, you've added at least another 3 years on top of what you're working with. And that's assuming you started with a visual sunset. Let's just say in this case that you bought a het sunset. So now you don't even know if you actually hit het. So let's just say you got all 3 of those genes. You bred a het sunset to this super orange stream, yellow belly, pastel. So now 50% of those animals are het sunset, but you don't know which one. So now you have to hold back a bunch of animals, breed this original het sunset back to the best looking animals that hit all 3 of those genes that all needed to be females, and hope that you got a het in some of those. And that's after waiting for 3 years. You could be disappointed and found out that you got no hets. Wouldn't that stink? You'd be no way to tell. Now there are genetic tests coming out which will change things a bit, but it won't negate the fact that you still have to work with these hets to hit visuals. This means that every single time you want to work a combo into a recessive, you will have to work with hets. You'll have to get a visual and breed it, and then you will get the hets. That is your best bet to do so, because you're at least guaranteed the hets. That means you're adding 3 years on to add any sorts of genes into a new combo. So I hope that that clears up some of the reasoning as to why recessives are holding their value. So are dominants and codominants completely useless? Should we just stop messing with them? No, not at all, and on several different regards. Dominants and codominants are going to continue to remain and be essential to the bigger piece of a puzzle that is this recessive game that seems to be shaping up. They are the spices, the ingredients that make up the better piece of this puzzle, and they will always have a place. Furthermore, they're not going anywhere even as just stacked genes. I still sell single gene animals, albeit not for the crazy prices that they might have gone for 3 or 4 years ago. They sell as pets, and they sell as the base form for people who want to get into a hobby that they don't know yet how to do. And don't ever forget the pet market. People love these animals for a reason, and it really all just comes down to that in the end. They were started as pets. We've treated them as a form of art in our community, but they are living animals, and this is the pet trade. So there will always be a place for them. I guess what I'm saying is that what you should expect if you work with just dominants and codominants is that you'll still sell animals, albeit that you should temper your expectations on what the price might be. If you're trying to get into this for a get quick rich scheme anyways, you shouldn't. This is not the business for you. I hope you enjoyed the video. What is your opinion on the current market? Do you agree, disagree? Do you think it's a good thing, bad thing? I'd love to hear your opinions. If you like this video, you can check out our videos on the top 5 up and coming recessive morphs and non-recessive morphs right here and here.